Hey everybody, what's happening? Son of a silver stacker here. In today's numismatic news and information for the 25th day of January 2023, I'd like to welcome you over to JM Bullion so we can look at those live spot prices. However, before that, you know how I'm going to do it. Two things first. I'm going to welcome you over to Good Morning to You. That starts today at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 a.m. on the West Coast. Now, today's subject will be, at least the guidelines are, you can't buy any more silver. What will you buy then, right? What's your next move when the silver disappears? Now, next thing I want to do is give a huge shout out and a big thank you to all of our channel members. This would be a lot more challenging without your support. Really, thank you all so much. Now, over here to the United States Mint. This is the bullion sales. All right, U.S. Mint about bullion sales, production sales figures. 2023 American Eagles, that's gold and silver, and we have no new tail to tail. The only thing we had added past over the weekend was 3,500 gold Eagles. So we're going to be looking at this every single day to find out what's what, because that has a direct impact on the premiums that we're paying for the American Silver Eagles, and we're still at $16.50, which is not great, but it's better than $20, correct? But let's look at some other bullion options. I got to show you this, and one of them's on sale. But before we do that, let me go ahead and hit reload, and we'll talk about those spot prices. So gold is now down, instead of 931, 1202 to 1933.78. Silver's down 18 cents to 23.72. Platinum down 14.85 to 10.59.79. And palladium down 19.24 to 17.67. That is incredible. And that seems like the most volatile one out of all four of these precious metals. And I'll tell you, here we go with the silver at 23.72. Can it go lower? Absolutely. Could it hit 16 bucks? Absolutely. It could easily hit 30 as well, I would think, because I'm going to show you an article that suggests that is going to be the case very soon. Now, here we go. Oh, man, look at this. Back to JM Bullion. Look at this. This is the 2023. This is the Type 1, okay? This is a 1 ounce British Silver Britannia coin, BU, and it features her queen, the queen on it, right? Her Majesty, the Queen. Now, it's $28.91. Now, it is on sale, all right? Look at that. Silver's $23.77. You can get it for $28.91. And they do buy it back at $24.25, so it's just about $4. Anyway, look at the 23 Type 2 featuring His Majesty the King right there, 2023. And this is BU King Charles obverse, and it's available on February 1st, 2023. It's $30.99. So it's interesting how the new one featuring the King is a little bit more expensive right now, well, because of the on sale for the one featuring her Majesty. I almost said His Majesty, but that would be wrong, wouldn't it? Now, let's go to the next thing I wanted to show you. This is from Forbes.com, all right? And this is Forbes Money, silver copper prices on the rise amid supply shortages. Here we go, folks. And we are just the first month in 2023, and we're talking about shortages for silver. And I do believe that one day soon, you won't be able to get any silver. It'll just dry up, and that'll be it. And there won't be any more because, well, I mean, let's face it. If you have an energy company or you're a government that believes in delivering energy to your people for a reasonable cost, and during times of economic uncertainty, like, governments start big projects, and why wouldn't they start a big project for energy? Because let's face it, energy is one of the largest expenditures any household has, right? So why not get big on the green energy? And that takes a lot of silver, okay, so far, and copper. But let's keep on keeping on, because we are on the cusp of something huge with this particular metal group, silver and copper. Now, the title of this article, Silver Copper Prices on the Rise Amid Supply Shortages. And this is by Q.AI, Powering a Personal Wealth Movement. And I think that part of it is an ad, all right, but at the same time, they do hit some very specific points that we need to consider. Now, it says they're making wealth creation easy, accessible, and transparency. Like I said, it seems like a sales pitch, but you know what? I'm not going there the whole way. I'm going to do the key takeaways and all that good stuff. Here we go. Number one, bullet point. Insufficient supplies could drive the silver price per ounce to a 9-year high. $30 high, all right? Meanwhile, the price of copper per pound has risen as supply disruption and China economic reawakening reduced global supply. So absolutely, that reawakening in China is not only having an effect really on copper, but it also will have an effect on silver as they mass produce solar panels over there, right? So also, not only that, there's been a new type of solar panel that has been created. It's a double-sided solar panel, and it requires an additional amount of silver, and it is way more efficient. And it gives way more power per hour, per kilowatt hour, I don't know. But it definitely is way more efficient, and it requires more silver. So the more these technologies advance for green energy, well, I would think that they're going to be getting more and more precious metals to them because they're so efficient, and they're going to be like, yeah, let's get everybody this. Now it says here they have a kit. I'm not going to go over that. Now it says here copper and silver prices are on the rise in 2023 due to insufficient supply against growing demand. There you go, folks. So imagine what happens when, some folks with a bunch of money need supply, but there's so much demand. Well, they're going to be paying top dollar for it, and the folks with all the money are going to be paying whatever they need to access whatever they need to access for their business, right? Because you definitely have to procure inventories to have business. Now, it says here some analysts see these precious metals enjoying moderate to outsized gains this year. Here's the scoop behind rising prices and how to invest if you're looking to capitalize on these shiny metals. And that's here, and I'm not an economic advisor, but I am reading this from Forbes, so take it with a grain of salt. Now, it says here silver futures, wait, here we go. Silver price per ounce on the rise. And yes, let's face it, we have seen it go down recently. And people are like, yeah, why'd that do that? Well, there's good reason, folks. Here we go. Silver futures rose from 23.42 on January 5 to 23.94 by January 20, a modest increase for the shimmery metal. But a CNBC report found that some analysts see the silver price per ounce hitting $30 in 2023. That's this year. If so, that would be the silver's highest price in 9 years since it eclipsed the same in February of 2013. Janie Simpson, managing director of ABC Bullion, told CNBC that silver has often seen near 20% gains in high inflation years, folks. And aren't we in an inflationary environment? And yes, they do say that inflation is cooling. And I don't know what data they're looking at. They're probably looking backwards. Yeah, but let's face it, since the election, gas has gone up almost $1 per, in the 3 months since the election. Not only that, but egg prices have gone up substantially. And let's face it, anything with food that contains eggs is going to get that much more expensive if they can even find the eggs. Okay, so looks like inflation may be back in the picture relatively sooner than later. All right, I don't think it's going to be going away anytime soon. So I think we're definitely in the high inflation years. Now it says here, given that track record, she said, it wouldn't surprise to see silver head towards $30 per ounce this year, though that will likely offer significant resistance. That's right. So it'll be ebb and flow. All right. Randy Smallwood, president of Wheaton Precious Metals, agrees that $30 will prove hard to top. Okay. Still, he sees prices staying comfortably above $20 per ounce. And honestly, I think it go to 16 to 18, somewhere in that range. Other analysts predict that recession fears and declining inflation could soften industrial demand, which may see the silver price per ounce to $18. Now, I think that's what does this. But I think it would only be temporary that it goes to this particular level. So that's interesting to follow. Now it says here, why is silver climbing? Analysts attribute low silver supplies. Here we go, folks. And then what does that mean for the United States Mint, low silver supplies? And its tendency to outperform gold in high inflation environments. To the metal's early year success, according to the Silver Institute, mines produced 843.2 million ounces of silver in 2022. That's not a insubstantial drop from 2016's 900 million ounces. Yeah, okay, so there you go. Now, because silver is often a byproduct of mining for other metals, that's absolutely true, of copper and other metals, it's harder to increase production to meet demand. Increased need in the automotive, electronics, and renewable energy tech industries may also contribute to growing demand. Absolutely. And you notice how they didn't talk about silver. They didn't, as far as jewelry or coin collecting or anything of that nature. They were straight up green energy on that, right? Because that's really where the biggest demand is going to be coming from in the following years, all right? Now, let's go here and see this. This is the Google machine, and this is energy costs, right? It says here wholesale power prices fall on renewable energy output, bring consumer relief. And that's really what the consumers need. They need relief from the highest energy prices, right? Australian inflation hits 33-year high on energy costs, tourism rebound. Look, this is how important this is. Why electricity prices won't cool with overall inflation. So yes, people are realizing that overall inflation is lowering, but electricity prices are not lowering. Some food costs are not lowering. And really, that's really what most of our costs are. Now, what does that mean for the United States Mint? Yeah? Well, if we go over to the United States Mint product schedule, all right, I'm going to go here, 2023. Well, you know what? I'll just leave it there, actually. So what we've got here are certain items that may or may not be produced in large quantities this year, right? So we have the 2.5 ounce Army metal that's coming out pretty soon. It says here, and do they produce 10,000 of those, right? Do they produce, there's the Army metal right there. Do they go gonzo and do the 10,000 like they're supposed to do? Do they mint a bunch of the American Silver Eagles? Or maybe they go and mint bunches for the West Point proof, but then when it comes to the San Francisco proof, there's, who knows how much silver's left, and what would the cost be between there and now if silver does become very hard to obtain? So many things. And honestly, I mean, if you look at the world news, not the world news, but the world business news, you'll see that the world seems to be going into an economic recession. And what does that mean, folks? What does that mean? Maybe put on your seatbelt. Maybe get yourself positioned into a spot where you don't feel as much, and maybe learn to garden. Gardening seems fun, doesn't it? Yeah, maybe get healthy. Now let's go here to the plus ones today. I got some good stuff for you here. So, question for you. Well, now, why do fish live in salt water? Well, because pepper makes them sneeze. Me too, actually. That's probably smart. Now, over here, it says, yes, I am the Lord, and there is no Savior but me. That's Isaiah 43:11. Now let's head over here to 39's KOIN Coin News Network. This is Daft Punk, Get Lucky, featuring Pharrell Williams. This is a really cool song. If you haven't heard it before, listen to the whole thing. It's fun. In fact, if you haven't heard too much of Daft Punk, there's some really great songs, Around the World, Get Lucky, and some other ones. I think they are definitely like a Grammy, or definitely a band that has won some wonderful awards, and they're from France too, so that's kind of cool. So there it is, folks. I want to thank y'all for watching. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget that like button, and if you do like what you hear and see, subscribe to the channel. It's free. Son of a Silver Stacker, out.